That means it's not the real notes. So fake means not real. Today, I just want to talk about the fact that we all think we know some things which we actually don't know. Very interesting to know that. We all think we know, but actually we don't know. We remain confused individuals who don't want to even ask, don't want to even question, but continue to think that I know. So that is the problem with human beings. Bhagavad Gita is a place where Arjuna is boldly asking what all he does not know, knowing fully well that this person who is in front of me can answer. He knows, and therefore he's asking. But many of us think we know, and then we get to know that we don't know once in a while, but then we adjust it and say, it's okay, I know. And then we continue life like that, and we are constantly wondering, do I know? No, actually I don't know. Don't get confused. Don't be disturbed. Just go on with life. Be positive. And we take some stupid positivity. I call it stupid positivity. Some stupid positivity and not do the real job that we're supposed to do. It's very deep. It's actually very deep. So I will start reading today from chapter 2, text 17, 2.17. Avinashi tu tad vidhi yena sarvam idam tatam vinasham avyayasya asya nakaschit kartumarhati. Please repeat with me. Avinashi tu tad vidhi.
Avinashi tu tad vidhi.
Yena sarvam idam tatam. Vinasham avyaya asya. Nakaschit kartum arhati. Avinashi tu tad vidhi. Yena sarvam idam tatam. Vinasham avyayasya asya. Nakaschit kartum arhati. So, Krishna is saying here that very beautifully, he is mentioning something very important to Arjuna. And that important aspect is something that we need to deliberate upon a little bit. Why? You may already know certain things, some of you are newcomers here. It may be very important for some of you to know certain things for sure. So Krishna is explaining here, we'll read the purport and then we will get back to analyzing this in a more serious manner. And let me just sort out one more thing here, yes. Yeah, okay. So in this place, watch carefully. We will read the translation. That which pervades the entire body you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Purport. This verse more clearly explains the real nature of the soul which is spread all over the body. Anyone can understand what is spread all over the body. It is consciousness. Everyone is conscious of the pains and pleasures of the body in part or as a whole. This spreading of consciousness is limited within one's own body. The pains and pleasures of one body are unknown to another. Therefore, each and every body is the embodiment of an individual soul, and the symptom of the soul's presence is perceived as individual consciousness. The soul is described as 1/10,000th part of the tip of upper portion of a hair. The Svetashvatara Upanishad confirms this. Balagra shata bhagasya shatadha kalpitasya cha bhago jiva savigneya sacha nanyaya kalpate. When the upper point of a hair is divided into 100 parts, and again each of such parts is further divided into 100 parts, each such part is a measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. Similarly, the same version is stated, Keshagra shata bhagasya shatamshah sadrishatmakah jivah sukshma swarupoyam sankyati tohi chitkanah. There are innumerable particles of atoms which are measured as 1/10,000th of the upper portion of the hair. Therefore, the individual particle of spirit soul is a spiritual atom smaller than the small material atoms, and such atoms are innumerable. This very small spiritual spark is the basic principle of the material body, and the influence of such a spiritual spark is spread all over the body as the influence of the active principle of some medicine spreads throughout the body. This current of the spirit soul is felt all over the body as consciousness. That is the proof of the presence of the soul. Any layman can understand that the material body minus consciousness is a dead body, and this consciousness cannot be revived in the body by any means of material administration. Therefore, consciousness is not due to any amount of material combination, but to the spirit soul. In the Mundaka Upanishad, the measurement of the atomic particle soul is further explained. Esho anuratma chetasa veditavyo Yasmin pranah panchata samvivesha pranaischittam sarvamottam prajanam Yasmin vishuddhe vibhavati yesha atma. The soul is atomic in size and can be perceived by perfect intelligence. This atomic soul is floating in the 5 kinds of air, prana, apana, vyana, samana, and udana. Is situated within the heart and spreads its influence all over the body of the embodied living entities. When the soul is purified from the contamination of the 5 kinds of material air, its spiritual influence is exhibited. The Hatha Yoga system is meant for controlling the 5 kinds of air, encircling the pure soul by different kinds of sitting postures, not for any material profit, but for liberation of the minute soul from the entanglement with the material atmosphere. So the constitution of the atomic soul is admitted in all Vedic literatures and is also actually felt in the practical experience of any sane man. Only the insane man can think of this atomic soul as all-pervading Vishnu Tattva. The influence of the atomic soul can be spread all over a particular body. According to the Mundaka Upanishad, this atomic soul is situated in the heart of every living entity. And because the measurement of the atomic soul is beyond the power of appreciation of the material scientists, some of them assert foolishly that there is no soul. The individual atomic soul is definitely there in the heart along with the super soul, and there's all the energies of bodily movement are emanating from this part of the body. The corpuscles which carry the oxygen from the lungs gather energy from the soul. When the soul passes away from this position, the activity of the blood generating fusion ceases. Medical science accepts the importance of the red corpuscles, but it cannot ascertain that the source of the energy is the soul. Medical science, however, does admit that the heart is the seat of all energies of the body. Such atomic particles of the spirit whole are compared to the sunshine molecules. In the sunshine, there are innumerable radiant molecules. Similarly, the fragmental parts of the Supreme Lord are atomic sparks of the rays of the Supreme Lord, called by the name Prabha, or superior energy. So whether one follows Vedic knowledge or modern science, one cannot deny the existence of the spirit soul in the body, and the science of the soul is explicitly described in the Bhagavad Gita by the personality of Godhead himself. Om Tat Sat. So, I just wanted to, this is a very technical purport given by Prabhupada, as you can obviously see. He has tried to relate it also with medical science and everything. And some of the medical science doctors will say, no, no, that's not enough. That's not proof enough for me to believe this stuff. I need something more gross and something that I can tangibly make out. You can't just give me some vague scriptural quotes and tell me that you should believe this. I want it through the methodology of science that I know about. And you must talk to me in that language. So it's maybe always going to be a situation like that. Why? Because what we are discussing here is not something material and not something that can come under the purview of material science or the type of epistemology or methodology that they use for getting to know what we know. That's an important point here to know. The other thing is that the fact that we exist every day and every day we are functioning, thinking, feeling, willing, very nicely expressed by the Western philosopher René Descartes, French philosopher, who did this rationalistic thought and is supposed to be the father of rationalism. He said that, okay, we won't accept just like that, but we can use our own capacity. We all have a rational capacity, a capacity that is given to us and that makes us unique as human beings. So he broke it down, all the thinking and the mental function and this and that. And then he said, one thing I'm certain about, I exist. I experience things. I am eating very tasty food. I'm having gratification in some way. I am experiencing these things, and therefore that is proof that I experience. I'm the experiencer and I exist. And I'm conscious of my experiences. So his famous saying, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. I am. I exist. Individualization of myself. That I am sure of. I exist. But who am I that exists? I don't know. The details I don't know. I know that I exist. In other words, the function of the soul I am agreeing with. I exist. I live. And I function. I experience. Therefore, I have to have an individuality and it has to be a conscious individual person. That all I agree with. But if you ask me details of who am I don't know. I have to think about that more. So, consciousness is being explained here by Prabhupada. And Krishna is saying, Avinashi tu tadviddi yena sarvam idam tatam. Yena sarvam idam tatam. Spread all over this body. Avinashi, you cannot destroy that. That has got no destruction. It's permanent. Consciousness is forever and soul is forever. Consciousness is coming from the soul and spreading through the whole body. And the soul is situated in the heart. And that is you, the Bhagavad Gita says. The soul is the self, but the body is not the self. The experience is not the self. By rational thinking, you can only go up to the point of saying, I experience my conscious existence. That much I experience. Because I have consciousness, I experience. But where is that consciousness coming from? What is that consciousness? If I want to express it in scientific terms, I'm not able to do it. Because there is no material science for that. If you have to read the Bhagavad Gita to understand a spiritual science, and that spiritual science is different from the methodologies used in material science. So this is a very great illusion to think that I know who I am. I am my experiences. I am my mind. I am my body. I am a sum total of all the ideas and experiences and emotions and feelings and everything that I have. These are all the definitions people have about themselves, because they're not willing to listen to any other authority apart from their own capacity, rational capacity, and their mental capacity. So their identity of themselves will not go beyond the capacity of their puny intellect. So it's limited. The definition about themselves is limited to how much they can do thinking. And those who cannot think will borrow what big philosophers have thought about and said, this is what it is. I don't know much, but this fellow definitely knows. He must be knowing. Because he is very great, he got Nobel Prize. It does not mean anything, actually. This is not something that you can just by science prove. You can come very close to it, but you can't actually get to the point so easily without an authoritative understanding from Bhagavad Gita, like it is mentioned here. The question of who am I is a big question even today in Western philosophy. It's not answered yet. Nobody knows who am I. But if you open the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is fast telling that to Arjuna. Your problem of your becoming depressed and refusing to fight is because, first of all, do you know who are you? What's your identity? That's how the second chapter starts. And this is from the second chapter, Avinashi tu tad vidhi yena sarvam idam tatam. You don't have birth, najayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyah ajo nityah shashvato ayam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. You don't die. You are not born. Nothing will happen to you. This is only your body. It belongs to you. It's not you. But you will exist forever. This is the first lesson we learn. Most people think, I know that. Actually, you don't know that. If you know that, you mean to say that Arjuna does not know that on the battlefield that Krishna is telling him? You think, why did not Arjuna say, I know that. That is ABCD. They taught me in the Gurukul. He should have said, because he is a Vedic person educated in the Gurukul, definitely they would have taught him. He did not say that. He did not say, I know that, Krishna, can you speak some other stuff, some higher thing? I know I am spirit soul. He knows. But he's not living on that platform. Knowing is different from realizing and living from that platform. We can all say we know, but the question here is, do I really know theoretically and actually who am I? I remember this, why I quoted this thing about faking is, faking means we all are busy putting up an identity to the world. For us, it is more important to make sure people understand who am I. I need not understand who am I. People should think like this about me. We are so busy with that. Whole world is busy with making other people look at me this way. Actually, I am not like that. I am like this. No, that is not me. I did not say it. I am not like that. I am like this. This is the picture I want to paint about myself. That is why I put my Facebook page like this. Look at my face. I have not made it up nicely. I have not shot an angle correctly to give you that impression. This is what I am. I am a scholar. I am a very strong person. I am a rich man. I am socially very adept. Whatever you think yourself to be, you want to show you are that to the people. And you want them also, this is what I am, please say that. Because this is what I think I am. And you want validation from others. So you project yourself. Actually, everybody is busy branding themselves, what they are not. And there are branding consultants who will help you to brand as you want also. But nobody is really wanting to know, actually, who am I really? Apart from the various brands that I float, different masks that I use, who am I? You see, it hit me, all these things hit me. Why I'm speaking about knowing and realizing is, I was in America, I think this is one of the first times I went, or the second, the third time I went. And then those maybe 25 years back, 30 years back. And I was actually very fired up and enthusiastic, and I wanted to take the all sorts of experiences. I went to the Disney World, I went to this place, discovering, and then somebody told me, look at these buses. I saw, wow, what buses? Greyhound buses, huge, very smooth. And said, yeah, I want to take a ride on that. And then actually they said, I wouldn't advise you to go in that. It's not a good thing for you to go in. I said, no, once I can go. And somebody said, better watch out. I said, no, I'll go once. And then I remember from Washington, DC to another place, I drove in a Greyhound bus. And I went to the bus stand. They left me there and said, you have to get the tickets. And suddenly I found that there was a madman, a little off guy. And he was scaring everybody. He was standing in the queue and teasing somebody and taking off their headphones, and they were screaming. And he was laughing like nothing. He was having fun. Some lady, he chased the lady, and she was running with her headphones falling down, and her iPod or something she had falling down, and she's tripping over. And then he was laughing. And it was a terror. Everybody there was afraid. This guy is teasing all of us. He's doing this and that. So I thought that he won't come to me, and I was in these robes, and I was sitting there and reading some Bible or something that was there. The Bible was being distributed free, and I just took one. It was lying there, and I was reading it. And then when he came, I was making this commotion, and everybody was, some guys were very firmly telling, hey, stop it. Some men were saying, the ladies were very afraid. And I was sitting there and thinking that I will read. I don't want to see this fellow. So that fellow came and stood in front of me, the mad fellow. And then he just kept looking at me. I never looked at him. I just kept reading the Bible and looking at me like this as a religious monk. He looked at me for a long time, and everybody was thinking this fellow is going to do something to this monk who was sitting there. And they were watching. It was a whole minute he stood in front of me. I didn't look at him at all. Then at the end of it, he said, quit faking it. And then he left. That was an amazing statement he made to me. Quit faking, he said to me, and then he left to attack somebody else. And then I looked at him, he had already gone, waving his hand like this at me. Then the bus came, and I sat down on the bus, and there were others who were close to me. They had heard it, and they were amused a little bit. They had a little smile on them. He got a different treatment for the Swamiji. When I sat down on the bus, I was wondering, what did he say? And then I was thinking along my whole trip, I was watching the nice scenery, I was thinking, he said, quit faking. Why did he say that? And why did a madman suddenly come and say something very sharp and very different from everybody else? Then I was thinking, he may not be a madman. I think he may be a very intelligent fellow, just fooling around. And I was thinking like that and saying, why did he say quit faking to me? That became an important thing for me, and I went deep inside throughout that trip thinking, maybe Krishna is trying to tell me something through this madman. Maybe I am posing myself as though I know many things and I don't know. And that's when I started questioning myself. And that evening I had a session, Bhagavad Gita, everything. And in the night when I went to take rest, I asked myself a question, do you believe in everything that you mentioned now from the Bhagavad Gita? I told myself, yes, I do. Do you actually live your life like that? Then I said, may not be fully, but I believe in it, and very soon it will come to that point. It was just questioning a lot in my mind for the next 1 or 2 days. And I wrote a blog saying, quit faking. But it made me think that I really fully don't know who am I. And that's why some of these people were also smiling for some reason. But it's a fact that not everybody has a full grip of who they are. And most of the times in my Gita sessions, in my, Gita live or this thing, I ask people, I go through a whole session where I ask them to answer this question, who am I? And it's one of the most difficult things for them, because mostly people think, let just me tell my name. Let's just say I am a parent, I am a IT consultant, I am a this, that, and they leave it. But they all know that there's something inadequate about that. So when I discuss this with them and I force them to come out with it, they find it very difficult. And I ask them, is this a difficult question? They would always say, yes, it's a difficult question. But is this a necessary question? They said, of course, it's very necessary. And then I said, you are not able to answer it. Is it because you don't know how to answer it, or you don't know who you are? And several of them said, I don't know actually, who am I? And then said, what are you doing then? So many things you are doing, like as though you know who you are. And you tell everybody, if they ask you, who are you? You give them a nice definition. Do you believe in that? So this question always raises lots of questions inside people's minds. Because it questions, are you pretending to be somebody whom you are not? And it's true. You will see that if you go deeper inside, if you read some of these, Carl Jung, Sigmund Freud's great disciple, he dealt with this a lot because he went through a lot of psychological situations in his life. Especially, he was a very brilliant psychiatrist and psychotherapist or whatever, mental problems and everything. And he and Sigmund Freud became very close friends. Sigmund Freud obviously was very, very senior to him. And so that sort of a teacher-student relationship. But Carl Jung slowly learned a lot, and he had his own theory, his own understanding, and over a period of time, they both had difference of opinion. They separated from each other. And he did not like that such a good resource and a friend had to be separated because of differences in what we think the way our system works. So he had a lot of psychological problems because of that. And in his younger days also he had. So he started thinking, why am I getting pained in my mind, in my subtle body? He didn't call it subtle body, but that. And he went deeper inside, and he had this great discovery in the next so many 5 to 10 years about how the mind works. And then he spoke about the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, the collective unconscious and all that. I don't remember the definitions of all these things. But one thing he said is, he said, we are not wanting to see the dark side about us, and we push it down. And we always project ourselves and to the world that I am like this, but actually you're not like that. And this creates a conflict inside you. Gives a very brilliant analysis of the mind and all that stuff. There also he explains that the struggle is to actually put your finger on your identity as to who you are. So this is a big question actually. It's very amazing that people have not answered that question, but the world is still going on. Everybody is functioning without knowing who they are. It's a world full of people. If you ask them a question, who are you? They'll say, I don't know. And what are you doing? That means if you don't know. I'm doing some things like, based on what I think I am, I'm doing. The job description of mine flows from my title. And I am busy with that. I'm an IT consultant. I do the following things. But the moment I'm out of my job, I have to handle my own identity. And those are times I don't like it. Because this gnawing feeling I have that I don't know who I am. And to run away from that, I actually accept a lot of false identities. And I work in that according to that job description. I play the role of a parent. I play the role of a social worker, some other identities I want to embrace so that I won't get lost with thinking, who am I? In this way, most of us are comfortably situated in a false identity which we work on. But nobody is working on your real identity. If you ask a real question, who am I? Nobody knows. It's a fact that nobody knows. And you're faking your identity and telling the world you are like this, like that. And telling yourself also, this is what I am. Take it. Because you need some identity to function in this world. To go to sleep at bed and get up in the morning, to cook, to look after everything and be some face in the world. But inside is a gnawing feeling that this is not me. Those who are honest to themselves know this is not me. That's why somebody was asking me, why have you put on your WhatsApp this thing? This above all to thine own self be true. William Shakespeare. This above all to thine own self be true means, are you true to yourself? If you look inside, you will start your journey, your internal journey. This is what we are avoiding. The material world keeps us very busy, avoiding us from going into an internal journey. On the battlefield, Krishna is taking Arjuna into his internal journey in the second chapter. He's telling him, you are not what you think. And when you don't know who you are, how can you understand who Bhishma is, Drona is, Kripacharya is? They are not the bodies. If you kill them with the body, you think you're so great, it will kill their individuality. They continue to exist. Natvamevaham jatu nasham, natvam neme janadipa, nachaiva bhavishyamah sarve vayam ataparam. People take this very lightly. They think, I know I'm spirit soul. No, you don't know. You know only the information, you know only the statement that I am spirit soul. Prabhupada illustrated this very nicely. I think in somewhere in London or America, he went to a school to talk to very high-class children, a convent. And the devotees with him were wondering, what is he going to speak to them about Krishna? How can he speak? They just foreign children. But he sat down and very nicely he tried to relate with the children. And they were thinking, what is this 70-year-old man going to talk to us? It'll be boring. Some monk from India. And they were just interested, that's all. So he started very amazing thing Prabhupada did. He said that all of you are very intelligent boys and girls. They shook their head. If you talk about them, they like it. I can see that all of you are very intelligent boys and girls. They were very happy. And said, who amongst you is the most intelligent? Oh, that was interesting. We are all intelligent. Who's most intelligent? Each one started looking. He engaged them. And he said, who's most intelligent? Then somebody said, you. They start fooling around. You, shall I push you? No. Then somebody pushed forward the school head boy, head girl they have, no? So he was reluctant, said, no, but he is the head boy of the school. He must be the most intelligent. He said, come here. Don't worry, come here. And so very reluctantly he came and stood, with his uniform and all tie and Prabhupada said, so you are the most intelligent out of all the intelligent people. And all of them said, yeah, he's very intelligent. They really put him up there. And he was very nervous for some time. And then Prabhupada asked him, so can you show me, where is your head? He said, what? Where is your head? My head. Then he said, show me your legs. These are my legs. Where is your heart? This is my heart. And the biology class that tells us inside my heart. Where is your ears? So he was boring. What are you asking? My hand, my head, yes. So then Prabhupada said, so where are you? Point to you. Where is you? And then he said, he looked at him for quite some time and said that this is an interesting question. Then Prabhupada said, you told me this is my head. This head belongs to me. So where is it me? Point out to me. Just got him. The whole class went silent. They were thinking what this old man is saying. Then they went silent. They thought it was very interesting. He said, you said it's my head, my ears, my legs. Where are you? This is me. He said, no, it belongs to you. This body belongs to you. So who is that you? Point out to me, to you. He did not know how to do it. He said, go and sit down. And then he explained, Prabhupada explained, that this boy pointed out to me, this is my ears, this is my eyes, this is my nose, this is my hands. So all these belong to you. Who are you? To whom this belongs? They became very thoughtful. Who are you? They said, it is the mind. Then he said, no, it is my mind, isn't it? So the mind also belongs to you. So Prabhupada eliminated everything and said, who are you? They were stuck. Now they became very interested in hearing what this man has got to say. Prabhupada opened up Bhagavad Gita and said, you are spirit soul. You're not this body. You're not this mind. You're not this intelligence. You are the spiritual personality inside. He explained basic Bhagavad Gita to them. And he said, I know in your science, they're not teaching you this. Otherwise, you could have given me an answer. When I asked you, who are you? You did not give me an answer. So they're not teaching you this. Like this, Prabhupada made a very interesting, simple session for the kids. He made them very thoughtful. And all the teachers who were watching were amazed. Biology teacher and chemistry and physics and all that. And after the Prabhupada said, you must have a department of the self, for self-development. And so whenever he went and visited universities, he was asking, where is the department for study of the self? When they showed him, this is this department, so where is the department for study of the self? And they didn't know. They didn't think it's important. This is the great illusion in this world. Everybody thinks they know who they are, and they don't need to have a department for it. You mean to say that Krishna is somebody who does not know what he's saying? He opens up Bhagavad Gita with that. Who are you? Is the first topic. And he takes more than 70 shlokas to explain that in the second chapter. He explains consciousness, he explains the soul, he explains the body, the difference of the body, and he explains matter, he explains spirit, he explains reincarnation, the proof of the soul's eternal existence. He explains so many things logically, scientifically, spiritually, shastrically, all different ways he explains. Right? And he puts up this understanding that you are spirit soul. You're not this body. So, who am I? As per Bhagavad Gita is, I am a spirit soul. I am not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm not this intelligence. And the Bhagavad Gita builds up to explain to you how you are part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivam sa jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana. And then Prabhupada and great acharyas have said you have eternally a part and parcel of Krishna, eternally a servant of Krishna. In Tamil Nadu, they say, Adiyan, I am your servant. Everybody is in the service mood of serving the Supreme Lord and serving the Lord's servant. Tvat britya britya paricharaka britya britya brittasya britya itimam shmaralokanat. Kulashekara Alvar is telling, my identity, my Lord, is I am a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of your servant. If you can recognize me like that, my life will become successful. Mad janmanaha phalamidam madhukaitavare mad prarthaniya madanugrahe shayeva. Tvat britya britya paricharaka britya britya brittasya britya itimam shmara lokanat. O Lokanath, this is my position. I simply want to be your servant, 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 servant. In this way, I want to serve you in a very lowly, humble position. That is best for me because it keeps my identity intact. And when I do that, I sit solidly on my identity as a spirit soul, eternal, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, his servant. When I do devotional service on the basis of my identity and I sit squarely on my identity as a spirit soul servant of the Lord, and I do in that feeling, in that consciousness, I am very safe. I am very safe. Also, I am very happy. This is the secret of many, many devotees who have explained their identity in terms of connection with the Lord and the happiness they derive from that. That is why serving the Lord is the highest pleasure. Serving the Lord is the best way to be situated in your identity of who am I. And serving the Lord makes you complete, makes you fulfill. Yayatma suprasiddhati. So if you go and see, if you Google who am I, you will get so many theories by so many philosophers, psychologists, everything. I am my ideas, I am my experiences, I am my mind, I am my body, I am what I think I am. Nobody comes to the point of who are you because they don't know. But they get big degrees and PhDs, but they don't know. If you look at the theories that they put forward, they don't know. They study the mind, they study this thing, psychiatry, that, this, everything. But who are you? They don't know. Right? So the world is filled with people who are ignorant about their own identity. This is a very funny world, very amazing. Everybody thinks they know, but they don't know. So I used to tell you that great old, Arabic proverb that says, one who knows that he knows is the person you should follow. One who knows not that he knows not is a fool. Reject him. One who knows that he does not know, teach him. One who thinks that he knows, nobody can teach him anything. He is a fool number one and he does not know that. So, who knows is a very big question. In the ancient Greek philosophy, you'll see Socrates in Athens, Greece, one of the greatest philosophers of all time. He was a person who first started asking these intelligent questions, who am I? And he would say, actually, I don't know. So I want to question. And every time we should not simply accept things like that. We should ask questions and understand. So it was called the Socratic method of questioning and asking and understanding. Even today, employed in many places. So there was a whole, because the Greeks worship many gods and all that. And there's a place called Delphi. In Delphi, there was an oracle. Oracle means somebody who knows the future, and somebody will tell you all sorts of things that you don't know. So people went to the oracle and said, who is the wisest man who knows? And Delphi oracle is known to have said Socrates. He's the person who knows. But Socrates, when he was asked, he said, I don't know. I tried to ask questions and get to know. I don't know. So the oracle is saying he knows, and Socrates is saying, I don't know. I'm trying to find out. I will always remain a person who wants to know. I don't know. In fact, that is the position of a person who is trying to know. So most of us are persons who are on the journey of self-realization, and we have come to know theoretically from Bhagavad Gita, and we are slowly, by following the instructions Krishna has given and the Acharya has given, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has given. He has asked us to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Read the Bhagavad Gita scrutinizingly, ask these questions, understand these things, and then connect up with Krishna. Because self-realization is possible along with God realization. That is the real thing. Of course, people can realize I am spirit soul without realizing the full potency of God. That's also possible. But if you try to realize God from Bhagavad Gita's sayings, automatically you will also get to know you. Because self-realization is a prerequisite that comes automatically with God realization. Or if I do self-realization, my self-realization will be complete only with God realization, because I'm a part and parcel of God. Mama ivamsa jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana. Therefore, I cannot be fully self-realized without realizing God. Prabhupada gave an example that when the sun comes up, we can see everything. I can see my hand and my body because of sun. So I have to acknowledge realization of the sun first, then only I can acknowledge realization of myself. It is through the sun that I'm able to see myself. It is through God realization that you'll be able to have self-realization. It's dependent. Full, complete self-realization is dependent on God realization. That is, you should understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he reveals himself in Bhagavad Gita, your self-realization will become complete. you will get to know I am spirit soul, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And I exist in this way. And the reality is that I am temporarily here for the time being. And I will cease this living and I become spiritually situated. So many great personalities, that's why chose to become devotees of the Lord. Because as they were entering devotional service, they got to know more about themselves. So many great devotees we might see they are illiterate, they are not educated, they don't know this, they don't know that. Self-realization is not something that is coming from the books. It's not coming from the book. You're not going to open the heart and see spirit soul inside. I saw the spirit soul. I'm self-realized. That's not the way to understand spirit soul. See, this type of epistemology, this type of science and the methodology for understanding things cannot apply to the soul, as Prabhupada mentions in the purport we read. You will not be able to understand with the same methodology. There is a finer, deeper science, devotional science, spiritual science, to bring out the understanding. And the proof of the soul is each one's own conscious experience. I know I am having a conscious experience, like I mentioned, cogito ergo sum. Cogito ergo sum means cogitation, I think. Ergo sum, therefore I am. Is a a very powerful statement in terms of rationality and understanding through your intelligence. That much I know for sure. I exist and I have value for my own existence, and I am an individual and I'm conscious. I experience things. From there we can start. That's what Krishna is saying, that you can experience this every day. You can experience yourself every day. And how you experience yourself and know yourself, you will see the people outside also. So self-realization is very important, because accordingly you will suit and see the people in this world. Atmavat manyate jagat. As you see yourself, you will see the people of this world. Problems come in relationships because of this. Not understanding yourself and seeing others also in the same way you misunderstand yourself. And you'll doubly redouble the misunderstanding of relationship. If you understand yourself correctly, I'm spirit soul, you will see others as spirit soul, and they will also see you as spirit soul. Relationships will become wonderful. It will not be material. It will be spiritual. Because they see you as part and parcel of Krishna. Mame vamsa jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. You see them as part and parcel of Krishna. You don't see them as a body, as according to their talent, according to their position, according to their money, according to their looks. Nothing. You see them as spirit soul. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shuni chaiva swapake cha pandita samadarshana. Samadarshana. The Pandit, really educated person, is seeing everybody, the dog eater, Chandala, the Brahmana, the cow, everything he's seeing equally. They're all spirit souls. Why? I am also a spirit soul. And inside, along with the spirit soul, he's also seeing the Paramatma. Both of them he's seeing. And because inside me also there's Paramatma, I have a relationship with Krishna who is there as Paramatma. He has full understanding of himself, about God, and about everybody else. He's in full Krishna consciousness. That person is fully self-realized. That's the statement Krishna makes in Bhagavad Gita. So, these statements of Bhagavad Gita are solving problems that philosophers and many thinkers are trying to understand. Even scientists are trying to crack consciousness, but it won't crack with your material methodologies. But the more you think about it, the more you know it is true. But when you try to express it through material science, it will not come true. Right? So it's an internal experience. Krishna gives you that experience. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaisya sarvairahameva vedya vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. I am situated in everybody's heart. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So Krishna, if we sincerely pray to him, he will make you understand who you are. Right? He will make you understand. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. He will give you the intelligence to understand who you are. So self-realization becomes complete when you become a devotee. Right? And Krishna gives that understanding because you are engaged in devotional service to the Lord. This is the methodology of understanding who you are in completeness. And knowing who you are will give you a completely different view of the world in connection with God. And life will become very different. The whole angle of vision is different. And this is what a human being is supposed to do. Every human being has the capacity to do that because he can recognize, like I told you, Rene Descartes recognized, I am, I exist. The meaning of being, I live, I breathe, I talk, I'm conscious, I exist. That is a proof itself of the soul and of consciousness. If we understand the theory, we can relate with it. So we should stop faking. We should not settle down to think something secondary about us. I am a beautiful looking person. I am a handsome man. I am a very good singer. I am, a great businessman. I'm very smart. All these things are product of false ego. Ego means the sense of I. False ego means the false sense of I. It's called ahankar in Sanskrit. We are thinking our false self is the real self. And that is why we get ahankar. When we have idea of a real self, you'll become very humble. Because who are you? Gopi battu padakamadayora dasa dasa anudasa. I am a servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis. Lord Chaitanya described himself like that. Gopi bhartu padakamalayora dasa dasa anudasa. Just like Kulushekara Alva said, Tvad britya britya paricharaka britya britya brittasya britya itimam shmara lokanat. Right? So it's a very important lesson to learn in life. What is your identity? All problems get solved, starting with that. The Bhagavad Gita starts with that. So we should, like I said, quit faking that I know who I am and live on a false platform. Get into Bhagavad Gita, accept the definition given by Krishna because he's the Supreme Lord. He says, you are this spirit soul, conscious, spiritual personality. And discover that and perform like that. Devotional service to the Lord. That will be complete understanding of ourselves. I will stop here. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, any comments, you may post. Pramila Krishna said imposter. Yeah, that's a good one. Poster is what we do. An imposter is a fake. Yeah, that's a good word. Thank you. You have any question? Anybody? Yeah, Pratibha.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
Maharaj, why is there a gap between understanding and performing, or when we come to take a decision? For example, if I read the word anyway dwindling means your importance will decrease. Whoever you are, whatever you have, one day anyway temporary only. But when we come to take a decision in life, sometimes we are not able to take the right decision or right action. We are not able to do. Is that because of lack of realization? It is easy to, I think it is more easy to understand, but we are not able to come to the performing level, or when we come to do action that is not compatible with what we have understood. Yeah, why is that happening?
That will happen. You have already given the answer also in your question. Because that is the meaning. That it is, you got theory, you got knowledge. Now you must apply and gradually realize that knowledge. Krishna calls it Vijnana. Jnana is knowledge, Vijnana is realized knowledge. And then you will develop conviction, right? And then you'll be situated fully in that understanding and you'll start acting like that. It's stage by stage it happens. It's not like studying MBBS and writing the exam and becoming a doctor. It's not that immediately now you can go around with your scissors and your surgical this thing and say, whom can I operate, please? Anybody? Nobody will come near you. Because you just came out of the, MBBS thing here. Who's going to risk his life with you? So you cannot do that. You have to train yourself for so many years with many surgeons and many operations, and then slowly try it out, and slowly you will understand, this is how it is. All your theory, you will see it coming to practice. And gradually you will understand over a period of time. Same way, that is a crude example. Same way, you also need to work on that knowledge. That's why devotional service, sadhana, is given. Sadhana means I carry out the order of the Lord. Krishna is saying, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. He's telling you, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, pay your namaskaram to me. This is sadhana bhakti you start. Gradually you will get purified. And gradually, as you become more sincere, I from within the heart will give you all the information and knowledge and make you understand. So your self-realization will come about as you establish more and more a relationship with Krishna. It's a process. It is not going to happen just like that. To become a doctor, you pay, crores of rupees and lakhs of rupees to get admission. Then you spend so much money for the course. Then you come out and you slowly understand and you get to know, and then you start doing things. Right? You have to spend a lot of your time, energy, money.
Yes.
Then only you will be recognized as a doctor. So here Krishna is not asking so many things. He doesn't want money. He doesn't want your time, energy and all that. He's just telling you, develop love for me because you belong to me. And it is very natural for you to love me. I'm your father. It's so easy to do it. It's not even as so difficult as becoming a doctor or an engineer. Because it's very natural for you. Krishna is saying, Man mana bhava mad bhakta. Because you're already part and parcel of me. It's very easy for you to do it. So we should try that, and gradually it will happen. For sure.
Okay.
Have faith.
Okay. Maharaj, I have one more question. Can I ask?
I'll come back to you after. If there's any other question, I'll finish that and come back.
Okay.
How to tolerate Sachin Anand on the chat. Maharaj, how to tolerate suffering of our past karma? Tolerate. That's all. There is no special way to tolerate. Maybe somebody can tell you there is anesthesia, you take it, you will not feel the pain. But I don't have an anesthesia for karma. Because sometimes your karma, you have to suffer, then only you will purify. Pavanani manishinam. Sometimes you have to go through it. And you must remember, past karma is not to be seen only in this lifetime without relationship with the past life. Why is there bad karma coming? Because you've done something bad. Isn't it? You did something bad to somebody and he suffered, or he or she suffered. That same suffering will come to you, maybe given by the same person in this lifetime in a different way. So you cannot cut it off. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The law of karma works. So how to get out of the suffering? Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma suchaha. Surrender to me. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. If you surrender to Krishna fully, Krishna says, I'll relieve you from all your previous karma. That's the only answer, right? And that's mentioned by Krishna very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. So if you want to get rid of your karma, become a devotee, surrender to Krishna. Okay? I hope that helps you. Gomati, how to know we are improving in Bhakti, Maharaj? Yes, good question. Two things. One is you lose material attachment. You're no more very thrilled about certain material things. And you can see it. You know, I can be without that type of situation when you are in. You can actually see, I was so mad after this. I couldn't do without this. Now I'm able to just go. I don't mind. Then you know you're making spiritual progress. Also, you're accepting a guru. He will also tell you how it is moving ahead by watching you and by seeing what you're doing, how you're doing. And he will be also able to help you. So there are many other factors also, but basically these are two foundational things. Losing attachment for material things and matter and material life is a clear indication that you're becoming more interested in Krishna consciousness. And number two, by having association with a guru, a mentor, a senior, he will also be able to tell you. Durga Prasad Menda, Dandavat Pranams. My question is, how do I develop the firm conviction that I am the servant of Krishna? By being a servant. Only if you do service, servitorship and service attitude will come. If you do service only, you'll be a servant. No. You can't be a servant by just telling with your mouth, I'm a servant, I'm a servant, I'm a servant. Do service. Don't do lip service. Do actual service with your manasa, vacha, diya, karmana, with your body, with your mind, with your wealth, with your words. Do seva to Krishna. Then you'll start feeling that gradually. And you'll be very happy to serve as many people as possible. Okay? Sandhya Menon, how to control inattentiveness while chanting, especially as we progress in our chanting rounds, Maharaj. The mind goes drifting and I have to keep bringing it back. Keep doing it. Krishna's advice is, Abhyasayena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. Because it's a mental act also to keep doing chanting and keep bringing the mind back. Because slowly it will become that you are doing to your mind. Right now it is through the mind and you have to rely on the mind. But as your self-realization increases, you will be able to tell your mind, shut up, focus, and the mind will listen. But right now you're focused, you're woken up theoretically that I am spirit soul, but your mind is the one you have to work through. So when you're saying that mind, control it, we have to tell, I have to control my mind. That thought is also from the mind only. The mind itself is telling, I have to control my mind. So it's very tricky. It's not so easy. It's a program within a program. So you have to wake up spiritually in order to be able to see the mind separate from you and say, shut up. You, mind, shut up. Now you got control. You have woken up spiritually. If you have not woken up spiritually and you're sleeping, then the mind is in control. And it's like a false, statement saying, yes, I have to control the mind. The mind is only telling that because the soul is sleeping. You see the trick in it? But every day we live life like this. That's why I said quit faking. We are living life only on the basis of the mind and mental instructions coming through the modes. But when we start understanding what is happening, then you will see this difference. The more you wake up, the more you can see my mind is doing this to me. But if you don't wake up spiritually, you don't even see that the mind is doing it for you. That's what Krishna means by saying, yoga means making friends with your mind, Prabhupada said. Very brilliant statement. So the more we chant Hare Krishna, the more we try to control the mind, the more we pray to Krishna, the more you start realizing I am not the mind. When you realize I am not the mind and separate the mind from you, it's in a better position to control the mind. Right? There are many more things also we can understand. Arvind Kumar Maharaj, why Damodar month is more dear to Krishna? Because it is dear to Krishna. That's what Shastra says. And at that month, amazing pastimes of Krishna happened in Vrindavan. That month is coming now. From 20th onwards, we will be celebrating it every day by lighting lamps for Lord Damodara. And the pastime of him stealing butter, etc. happened. And so it is highly glorified, auspicious month. Diwali occurs at that time. Govardhan Leela occurs in that month. And many wonderful things happen in that month, Krishna's pastimes. And in that month, anybody who performs devotional service gets multiplied many times. Like that. So it's dear to Krishna. It's declared as dear to Krishna. So anybody observes some vrata in that month increases his bhakti of Krishna. Because you please Krishna. Okay? Right. Manisha Kanagarajan. Maharaj, what is service? How to do it in a day-to-day life? Oh, very practical question, Manisha. Yes, I think you understand work. You understand work. Let me explain it through that. You know work. You go to work, maybe Manisha, and you go report in the morning at 9 o'clock. You get out at 6 o'clock, come back home. 9 to 6 is your work time. At the end of the month, you can collect a salary for the work you did. Am I right? Yes, you know work. Service means working for somebody, not getting a pay. It's called service. In terms of the work I'm explaining to you, service means not expecting any pay. Like if Manisha has got a child, which most probably may be, when you do something for the child, you took the child, you passed stool, so you cleaned up, and then you fed the child, you went to the market, bought sabji and cooked and gave the child and everything. Then do you tell the child, here is the bill, please pay me for my service? Do you say? You don't. Why? You do out of love for the child. You like to do it. So all of us are part and parcel of Krishna. We also like to serve Krishna. We love to serve Krishna actually, but we have forgotten it. That is what we were originally doing. The mother loves to serve the child. See the child growing, see the child walking, see the child saying sweet nothings. And so happy, I'm happy to do anything for you. Out of love, the mother is doing service. Same way, you have a very happy relationship with the Lord, Krishna. And when you awaken yourself, awaken your relationship with the Lord, you'll become very happy to serve Him with everything that you have. You feel that I am yours, my Lord. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam vam vishame bhavam buddho kripaya tavapada pankaja stitadhuli sadrisham vichintaya. Lord Chaitanya said, I am originally yours. Tava asmiti cha uchyate. Lord Ramachandra said, even if once you say, I am yours, I am vowing that I'll protect you forever. Abhayam sarva bhutebhyo dadami etam vratam mama. My vow is, if somebody tells me, I seek your shelter, I am yours, I will protect him forever. Right? That is the depth of the relationship Krishna has with you already. He has not broken his relationship. Only you have to revive that relationship. Then you can express that love by service, just like you express the love to your child by serving him. The same way, that is called service. I hope that helps you to understand. Okay, Manisha? Right. Pratibha, sorry, coming back to you. One full round.
No problem, Maharaj. Maharaj, what is the difference in when we worship Jagannatha or when we worship Guru Ayyappan, Padmanabha Swami, Perumal, or daily we have to worship same God?
They are all same person only. Is the same God only, same Krishna only.
So there is no difference in worshipping. We can choose.
Whomever you get attracted to, God has come in some variety of forms, so that like a shopping mall, you can choose whichever your mind gets attracted to. But afterwards, you will get to know that it is the same original Supreme Krishna, Shyama Sundara, and he has manifested himself in various ways according to the culture of the place, according to the type of people, and according to what they like. And he accepts that worship and he comes in that form so that the local people relate to him in that way. But it's the same Supreme Lord. But
I'm not able to choose. I'm not attracted to one form.
that's okay. So you go and worship everybody. What does it matter? What does it matter? It's the same person. He's the same person. You know, you are the same person yesterday also, because yesterday you were wearing different dress. I met you here in the temple.
Yes.
Yesterday you are wearing different dress, no? Are you not the same person? You are. Yes. So he is wearing Guru Ayyappan dress here as a small child. And Jagannath, he is wearing different posture. And in Ranganatha Swami is different. That's all. It's the same person only. The crude example of the same thing. He can wear so many dresses. He comes in so many forms, but it is the same person.
Okay. Maharaj, I have one more clarification I want. I saw in a WhatsApp, not authoritative, I saw they had one equation. I have doubt whether to believe it or not. They have written 1 Krishna equal to 3 Rama. Means what they
that is from the Shastra. 1 name of Krishna is equal to 3 names of Rama. 1,000 names of Vishnu is equal to 1 name of Rama. Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanama Varaname. That from the Vishnu Sahasranama. You will see that. So there is another quotation that says 1 name of Krishna is equal to 3 names of Rama.
So how can there be difference?
There can be. Why cannot be?
All same person only, right?
Same person, but the name is different value. There are secondary names, there are primary names, there's a big science to it.
Okay.
So the Shastra says that we can't use our mental logic for that. We have to accept Shastra as it is sometimes.
Okay.
So the Shastra says 1 name of Krishna is equal to 3 names of Rama. Just like it says here in the Vishnu Sahasranama, 1,000 names of Vishnu is equal to 1 name of Rama. Sahasranama, tat tulyam. Tulyam means equal. Rama nama varaname. Right? It says that. So how can you say, how can it be that Vishnu is so many names? That's how it is.
Okay.
That's how it is. Because there are many other technical details behind it also.
Okay.
Same way, Krishna's 1 name. Krishna is the original foundational name of Krishna, of the Supreme Lord. Krishna, Govinda, Madhava, Keshava, all these are primary names.
Okay.
And then when he comes as incarnations, he assumes many names. It's Ramachandra. And so Ramanama has also got great power. In the same way, you have many other incarnations of the Lord. Right? So all of them are the same Supreme Lord. If you go to Pandharpur in Maharashtra, they'll say Vittala, 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 Panduranga, Panduranga, Pandarinatha, Panduranga, they will chant. They chant the name of Vittala. The Lord accepts that. Because they are all Maharashtrians, they have a particular mood. Right? So if you go to Guru Ayyappan, they'll say Narayana, 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 Narayana. He accepts that. If you go to Vrindavan, they will chant Krishna's names. Like that, each place is different. That's all. So we follow what the Acharya says. All the great Acharyas coming the line, and Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada told us, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself came as Yuga avatar in Kali Yuga and told us to chant this mantra. Because Krishna himself has said it as Lord Chaitanya, we do it.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Right?
Maharaj, just one question, Maharaj, please.
Please go ahead.
Maharaj, what you said about this Bangladesh ISKCON temple, that's very disturbing. Maharaj, why is it that when they have taken the shelter of Krishna, they have to suffer this? Like there must have been when Krishna promises that if you surrender to me, I will, if you call it a karma, then he says that I will remove your karmas, bad karmas. Why is it that they have to suffer so much, Maharaj?
Sometimes servants of the Lord have to take up this type of headaches for the sake of the Lord. Like the Pandavas also suffered, no? Krishna was sitting right next to them, no? He was their cousin, no? Draupadi was disrobed, no? And Bhima was poisoned, no? Abhimanyu was killed, no, on the battlefield. So sometimes the devotees of the Lord take up the suffering as a service to Krishna. They have to go through that as a service because the world is such that. And there are horrible people in this world who do all these things. And they will first of all affect the devotees most because they become very envious of devotees who have got the shelter of the Lord. So it's some strange psychology. They attack devotees. And that too in a country like that where, you know, Hindus are minority. There is what you call radical Muslims also available in such places who perpetuate and perpetrate all these type of things. So there one type of understanding Krishna describes in the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that faith and religion is of different types according to the modes. Yajante satvika devan yaksharaksham rajasaha bhutan pretaganams cha anye yajante tamasa vrata. Krishna is explaining that the people in the mode of tamas will worship ghosts, spirits and all that. And the people in rajas will worship powerful human beings. And people in goodness will worship the demigods. And this way there are permutations and combinations of this. When people become very tamasic in their worship, they'll do violence. So what to do? We are amidst those type of people. And a lot of these religions which are very popular in the world and which have very large following are tamasic and rajasic religions. Even in India, you will have amongst the Hindus also there is rajasic and the Singh portion of it. When we worship Krishna, we are transcendental to the modes. Shuddha Sattva, beyond the modes. Krishna is beyond worship of demigods also. He explains that in Bhagavad Gita. So we are worshipping the absolute truth. That's the only one that actually will save you. Sometimes when you do that, people don't understand. They think it's just another religion. And why are you not following my religion? Why are you following that religion? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? What to do? So devotees have to tolerate these type of losses also. But we try our best to, in the material world, whatever we can move. We have gone to all the Bangladesh consulates all over the world and we are putting a petition because we are an international society. And in many places in this thing, our devotees are working with the local consulate and say, why you're doing this? Why your country is doing this? So bringing some pressure on everybody. In this way, what to do? Horrible people in this world. So many people in history you can see. The best thing for us to not hang around here, pack up and get out.
Yes, Maharaj, I fully agree with you.
Because you don't belong to this place. No? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranam, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Maharaj. How are
Hare
you?
Krishna. Nice to see you.
Hare Krishna.
Good night. Sweet
Good night.
dreams of Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Sign out now. Shall I call Usha?